Let's talk about an experiment with rats. Once there was an experiment with some rats. The scientists put these little guys in two different places. In the first spot, it was just a boring old cage with two types of water. Boring normal water and water that had cocaine in it. Guess what? Those rats went straight for the cocaine water, and after time they all overdosed and died. But then they did something different. They made a lovely place called Rat Park. It was like rat heaven with green grass, toys, and other rats to chat with. They still had the same two types of water, normal water and the cocaine water. But this time hardly any rats drank the cocaine water, and if they did, none of them had too much. None of them overdosed. This shows a very simple idea about our brains and why we do bad habits. The scientists didn't focus on removing the bad habit. The bad habit was still present in both scenarios, but they changed the actual environment around it. Now, think about where you hang out. Is it more like the boring cage or the fun rat park? This isn't just about rats, it's about us too. If you spend all your time inside or stuck in a dull routine, you're setting yourself up for a hard time. So, what's the big deal here? It shows us that if the place you hang out sucks, you might end up doing things that aren't good for you, just because you're bored or lonely. If you stay all day in your house lying on your bed, then you are likely to do the bad habits. It's a common trait in addicts. You see, all addicts stay at home, they never come out. You will never see them outside in the sun, running around, or even just chilling on a grassy hill. They'd seem a lot happier, right? That's why it's not about focusing the bad habit. It's about developing good habits and working on. Think about it. Humans are supposed to be out and about, soaking in the sun, just like every other creature on Earth. Our a lot of grandparents didn't sit around inside all day. They were out in the sun, getting all that good vitamin D, feeling the breeze, and probably not even wearing shoes most of the time. It doesn't matter if it's sunny, rainy, hot, or cold, go out there. It actually makes you gonna feel energetic and happy. There are cool spots, probably just 5 or 10 minutes from your home that you've never seen. Getting outside. Whether it rains or shines, go out and goof around for at least half an hour each day. It makes you feel alive, trust me. Even on days when it pours, try to still go to the usual park. It gets all muddy and messy, but hey, that's part of the fun. So, why should you try getting out more? Well, even a little bit of outside time can change how you feel. When you're indoors all the time, it's too easy to fall into a slump or keep up bad habits. But get into the fresh air, and it's a whole different story. You feel free, like you can breathe easier and think clearer. You don't have to make a huge plan. Start with something super easy. Maybe say to yourself, this week I'm going to step outside and just enjoy it for a few minutes. Pick a spot, any spot. Could be a park or just a street you've never walked in. Then next week, do it twice. Keep it up, and soon you'll find yourself wanting to step outside more often. It becomes a part of your routine. Here's a fun idea. Sliding down a slide or watching squirrels run around. It's tough to not feel a little brighter after that. So what's stopping you? Try this out. Just decide to visit one outdoor spot this week. And here's a little secret. Usually these places are quiet. You might worry about people watching you, but most times they're too busy doing their own thing. You'll have all that space to yourself, so why not enjoy it? Taking that little step to go outside can start a big change. It might not solve everything, but it sure helps shake off the blues and kick some bad habits too. And think about it, you're not just stuck inside, you're exploring, just like our ancestors did. They weren't cooped up, they were out there in the world, and you can be too. If you are starting to see my point, you might be surprised what being outside can do for you. It's about stepping out of your daily box, or cage, and mixing a bit of nature into your life. It doesn't take much. And hey, here's a fun fact, just for giggles. Nobody ever slid down a slide and felt sad at the same time. Next time you find a slide at the park, give it a go. It's hard not to smile, even if it's just a silly little slide. So get out there, check out what's around you, and maybe slide down a couple of slides because you can't slide down slides or spot squirrels doing cartwheels if you're stuck indoors. Break out of that cage, even if it's just for a laugh or a breath of fresh air. It's easier than you think, and way more fun than sitting inside.